too. What do you do? Good. What's up, guys? Rob, what's up? Dakota, how's it going? So, yeah, I'm having a rough day. So we're just gonna wing this. What's up, Billy? Um, Splash some water in my face, and we're just gonna go right into it. Maybe I'll get into it here in a little bit, but first, we're just gonna start it out with how to set a friction saver or rigging rings from the ground. Very simple. It's a pretty precise like little setup, and like if you do it in the right order and set it up correctly, it is super simple to do. So you can set a set of rings from the ground, retrieve them from the ground. You don't have to climb up the tree at all. So all you need is your rigging rope, a set of rings with two different size rings, throw ball, and throw string. And this is a bungee, but I'm going to use this as a retrieval ball. Well, you guys have probably seen these weird little bungees. It's got the ball at the end, you wrap it around. But yeah, I'm going to use that as a retrieval ball. And I'm actually going to make this very difficult on myself by using a 5/8 rigging rope, because I feel like a lot of times people will use the 1/2 inch because it's so hard to set the rope from the ground. You can get the rings up there sometimes, but setting the rope into the rings afterwards gets very aggravating. So I'm going to use the fattest rigging rope I have, which if you look, it doesn't really, it barely goes through the small ring. Like, it fills the small ring up quite a bit. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you. First thing, let me set you guys somewhere. Hey, chill out. Where we get, you guys, you want to see something crazy real quick? Look how much this dog wears my grass down. Okay, so you see there's a trail right around my fence, all the way around. That's dirt. Used to be grass. Then that trail goes up, turns this whole area. Look what he does. And I had to block this area off and then plant grass. But like you can tell, he wreaks havoc on my yard. Sit down. Ugh. Ridiculous, isn't it? Guy makes a mess. What's up, Thomas? Yeah, that is less smoke. Yeah, except for the bummer parts when it rains, that turns to mud, and that's where he runs. So it gets very aggravating. So here we go. The first thing you do when I'm throwing throw balls, I'm gonna try to keep up with comments the whole time too. You having some soup, ground pounder? So, throw ball. I use like a 10 ounce. It's just a little easier to throw. It's not too heavy. So here we go. Throw ball. So the first thing you want to do when you're setting this up, So the first thing you want to do when you're setting it up is take your ring and you'll judge trying to keep it all on the camera. You'll judge about how much throw ball string you need, you know, and pull it out. So this is why I put my stuff on spools. I just drop it down and pull it out real quick, and it's real easy to pick up. But pull out enough, make sure it's enough. Then what you'll do is take your throw ball off of the string. If you use that loop technique, like I do, it's really quick and easy. You're going to take your set of rings and you're going to place the rope, the string, through the big ring. So this is the little one over here. You put it through the big ring first. Then get all your string pulled back through so that you're ready to throw. So now you're set into just the big one, nothing on the little one. You'll put your throw ball back on. If you use that loop technique, it's very quick and easy. You didn't have to tie nothing. So now you'll take it, you'll pick your branch and throw it over it. So I'm thinking, damn, that sun's gonna get us, isn't it? Sorry guys, that sun is like right in the worst spot for this. So we're gonna make our throw to this branch here. Let's go with that one. Yeah, Rob, it's a really good ring setup. It's really nice. I think any setup you can get, it's a good length, so it goes for most crotches unless it's real big, and different ring sizes, one at each end. That way you can retrieve. So if the rings are different sizes, it just makes it so versatile. But you get they're both the same width, so you're getting a good bend radius. Okay, so now I'm gonna make that throw onto that branch right here with my throw ball. I don't know how I just managed to tie a knot. Man, tie that knot. Then I'll make the throw right here by you guys. It's a long throw though. Alright, ready? You see me just miss that. What the? I could throw it up for like a baseball. So, now you got it back, right here. Bring it back. So now, I left the line catch on. Yeah, everything. It's the most aggravating thing in the world. That's the all gear throw ball string, and it's probably some of my favorite. But so now you've thrown it over the branch. You've got it back. You've got your throw ball in. Then on your other end over here, remember you have your big ring. It's on that big ring. So we'll go grab the ring. And like I said, it's on the ring. There's the string. So we got it here. Now what we want to do, I'm going to keep this. There's nothing on the small one. It goes through the big one though. I'm just going to put it on my shoulder here so you guys can see. I'm going to grab my throw ball. I'm going to take it off again. After I take it off this time, I'm going to get the throw ball off. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put it through the little one now. Okay? After I get it through the little one, I'll put the throw ball back on. So now, we are hooked up there on the little one, on the exit end, and on the running end, it has the big one. So now if I start to pull the line back up, you guys will see here, see it's lifting, the throw ball is over on this one, and this one has the line through it. So here's where that weird kind of magic happens. So watch up there. I want to make sure I get it in there. So you'll take and you'll just keep pulling up. Pulling up. See, I wouldn't have got it in there, I would have been mad. So okay, there we are. We're pulling up, and right as you get the small one to it, get right there. Okay. You're gonna get a good grip on this. You're gonna give it a quick jerk. So now up there, it comes back. The throw ball flipped it over, and now it's going through both, and you can lower the throw ball to yourself. Lower it down. So I lift it back up. Goes right down. So yeah, that's the little magical part. That's the coolest part of it. So now when you get it down, here's where most people run into a lot of trouble, is getting the rope up through the rings, because it's going through the small one first, then into the big one. So if you get it to go through the first one, the second one's usually easy. Oh, thanks, ground pounder. This same technique is exactly what you use to set a friction saver in a tree. So if you want to set a friction saver, you use all the same setup. It's just maybe not as big. It's not as heavy. It's actually probably easier. It is easier. I don't know what I'm saying, probably. So I got the throw ball back. Now what I want to do is take the throw ball off once again. Now the reason for having the throw ball on when you're lifting it up there is as a stopper to keep it on the little one, and as a weight to, after it flips it over, to bring the line back down to you. So you want a reasonable throw ball as far as weight. So now when I say that loop technique, I just tie a loop into mine, and then to take my throw ball off and on, I just put it through the ring and over the top of the ball. And what that does is girth hitch it on every time. So then when I want to take it off, I just grab the back end, pull on it, push it back over, and that's it. So that's why I don't tie my throw balls. That's just too easy. And plus, this setup that I'm about to do becomes very easy too. So remember, if I run into trouble here, I did say I'm going to use the fattest rope that I can. So this is going to be hard. This is probably going to be as hard as I could make it. So we've got our 5/8 bull rope. There's our end. So the way I like to do it is I take, I would say probably 8 inches of that, 6 to 8. And I'm gonna, with this, I'm just gonna make a cinch down loop, run it through to that 6 to 8 inch mark where I think that's gonna be at, and then I'm gonna cinch it down. So now I'm cinched down there, but that won't go through those rings. I don't care how lucky you are, that won't go through the rings. So this is where we start to half hitch. I don't worry about doing a bunch of half hitches, but my half hitches get really close up here because I don't want movement up here. I want to have it all the way to the very, very, very end. That way I'm directing the tip of the rope in. If you put your last half hitch there, the rope goes sideways and it tries to go in, and it just ends up being wider. This catches, it doesn't want to go through. So you're cinched down there like that, and you just start putting half hitches. You make a loop, twist it, put it through. So there, now you've got a half hitch there, and you're going to do it again. And you guys all know how to do half hitches. I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on that. But another loop. Now right here, you can see those are kind of spaced out the same, but as soon as I get here, hang on, I got them cats trying to climb in my truck. Okay, so half hitches, and then when you get to that last bit, this is where I put 2 of them kind of close together, because sometimes they'll bite down and they'll move a little on you. So closer they are, the less chance they have to end up moving on me. I'll show you this up close right as I'm done. Okay, now look, you see how close that is to the end? The reason for that is because we're directing it into a hole that's about the size of the rope, so it's going to be really hard to do no matter what. So now, get up here, get you guys there to the rings again. Okay, there they are. So we're just going to pull the rope up now. And the rings have twisted and got all weird, so they're not even aligned correctly right now. So this is really going to be tricky. I should probably be pulling from over the other side, but it is what it is. We're going to try it. Ready? So it's going to go in the little one first. You see how it's got that bend in it? That's because them half hitches are spaced a long ways apart, and it gets a flex in the rope. I don't like that. But if you notice, the end of it there is real straight. So in the little one, there it is. See, it wrapped. This is the hardest way it could have been set up. It went through the first one, back around, and then into that. So now you're set up. When you click them together, they align themselves correctly. You add some weight to it, but it's just the way it's set up. So that came down. There it is. If you notice, it did stick right there at the first. This hit right at the bottom. So then I kind of gave the rope a twist. It brought it around, brought it through. So same concept kind of applies here to retrieving it. Now we use this rope and we do all of our rigging that we want to do, and we now want to retrieve it out of the tree. So why would you do something like this? Because you're going to be doing some heavy rigging and you don't want to burn the crotch up on the tree and like kill that you can kill the entire limb or section by just natural crotch rigging out of it. You don't want to hurt none of it. Plus maybe you want a mechanical advantage, a little smoother rigging, more precise. There's a bunch of reasons. So now take the throw ball string off. You're done with the throw ball and the throw ball string. Now you just need to retrieve this. So you have your working end, or your anchor end, and then your working end over here. So you're going to take your anchor end after you do all your rigging and you're done. Now we need to retrieve it back. So when it goes back up, it is going to go, sorry guys, it's going to go, see this rope? It goes into the blue first, which is the bigger. Then it will catch on the small, which is the red over here. So if normal cases with this, I would use a 1/2 inch rope, or even my 9/16 is pretty close. I could tie just a regular stopper knot and that would work. Doesn't work in this situation. This rope is too fat. It won't go through the big one, so it ends up getting caught. So a regular knot's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So show you here, right the end of this. So I would bring it up here into this area in case your anchor or your throw ball starts to get pulled down. It doesn't slip off. So what I would do with this thing is I would just wrap it a whole bunch of times. As many times as I get it around to get it completely like stiff and up to the rope. Whoa, how did that even get through there? Okay, so that's all I did there. I just wrapped it around a whole bunch of times. Throw balls on there. So I think I should probably move this down. What'll happen is this will go through. This part will kind of stretch for the first one if it needs to, and come down here. But then this will catch on the small one. So you'll have to kind of come up with your own little thing. You can make a clip that you clip to the end, whatever you want to use. But now we just retrieve it back. We wiggle it out of the blue one. Now we've got a hold of the red one. And we just pulled it. Oh no. I moved the throw ball thing or the retrieval ball down too far and it stretched and let that one out. If I'd have left this up higher, up there, like I wanted to, it would have retrieved it. So just pretend like it retrieved it. I don't know how to fix that. So yeah. But huh. Whatever. That's funny. It's like the simple, stupid part of it that is like everyone knows how to retrieve is the part that I end up messing up. And all the difficult technical part goes super smooth. Story of my life. But yeah, I'm done with all this. I'm gonna wrap up. I'll throw my ladder up there and grab that. I'm not even gonna bother. I could grab a pole and knock it off there, but you definitely don't want that to happen up in the tree. So you want to make sure whatever it is you use for a stopper um, works. I knew that that could happen. I've had that mistake happen before, and I don't know why I put that so close to the end, because that would have passed through the big one with it. But you know what? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that that is what happened, and that that does work if you set it correctly. So it kind of proves one of my points that if you don't follow the directions and do everything correctly, it's just tricky. But if you do everything right, it's not that hard of a technique. It's actually pretty simple. You know what? I kind of want to put the rope back in. Here, just redo it. Did you guys see that rope walking technique? Sick, wasn't it? Okay, so now since I made an ass out of myself, let's do it the way I planned on doing it the first time and see if it actually works. So, wrap it around a whole bunch of times. A whole bunch. Okay, so it's like that. Now, let's see if that would have worked if I'd have done it right. Okay, so retrieving. If it makes it through the blue one, we got it. There, see, it did. So, that's how it's supposed to work if you place the retrieval ball in the right spot. Like I was telling you guys, what had happened was, hey, is this thing got all the way here to the end. When I set it there, I set it too far down. And if you look, the throw ball will stretch because it's a bungee. It stretched to the end and goes to the end there. It's not quite wide enough, so that's what happened. I do like when they put these sleeves on these things. It really helps a lot. These sleeves are nice. Get over here. So now I am gonna answer comments. I'm gonna like jump ahead on comments. I'm sorry. There's a few people, new people here I didn't see. John's here. I think Squirrely John's here. John Linear's here. Billy's here. Peter's here. What's up, man? Ground Pounder's here. Their hands. They're using a few hours. Okay, so I don't want to skip so many comments. I kind of want to try to keep up with you guys, but I'm about done here. What we'll do is we'll just walk over here and sit down so I can actually keep up with comments. And we can actually do whatever you guys want to do. Want to look at a different technique, but as far as having an idea of what to do today, I am clueless and just out of my head. Like I'm not. It's been a rough day. Okay, about got, I don't know. Dude called the cops on me. Some other people pulled some super shady stuff. My mom's not doing good. She's in the hospital. One thing after another. And then people want to treat you like crap and pretend like they want to fight until it's about time to fight, and then they start screaming about calling the cops. And I just don't know. I just don't know if I click with people anymore. James, yes, 100%. That was us. Actually, that was it was like NRT. It's like no rope, so it's like next level, kind of like a lift. Yeah, Peter, that sucked. Big old dill pickle. I could probably, yeah, I could probably get down with the string and the fishing hook. I got treble hook in there. I definitely could snag it. Peter, that is probably the one and only time. Well, no, I'll get on a ladder if I am. It's usually like when you're cleaning up after you take a gnarly tree down or something. Then you go to get on the roof to like clean the gutters and stuff for the people, or all clean off the house or something. I always seem to be on. That's the reason I only have that kind of a ladder. That's about as high as I need to go, and it packs down really small for my truck and stuff. So, but yeah, you definitely don't ain't gonna see me on it much. Ground pounder, you better stop. 2 foot off the ground, no spotter. Now you guys making fun of me for my ladder. Hey, I was smooth on it though, wasn't I? I hate being on a ladder. Well, the safety plan was to crawl to my truck, which is kind of close, or have the dog pull me or something. Homeowner move. Amateur hour over here. That's a big bee. Big old wood hornets. He was in my shed earlier and I finally got him out of it. Now he's digging a hole in my siding. Thanks, guys. What was it nothing to do but use them thumbs? That's funny. Yeah, yeah, just some stupid stuff. I mean, waste of my time, aggravating, you know, begging stuff out of you for no reason. Just use and abuse. That's what happens when people find out you're a nice guy. They use and abuse you. I bought the Echo 2500 electric. Did you? How you liking it? Appreciate it, Ground Pounder. Feeling is definitely mutual, brother. Yeah, I passed a Well, I'll tell you. Um, I passed a guy today who was weed eating on the side of the road, and he was like in the road, so I like slowed down to like 30 mile an hour. We were on a highway. Thanks, Peter. Um, so yeah, we were on the highway, and he's got his gator parked up from it, but he's more out in the road, like he's on a curve. But luckily, I'd seen him up ahead, and so I'm like, oh, I slowed down. Mind you, we're on a highway. I got down to 30 mile an hour to pass him. I may have been going a little slower, but it's a two-way highway. Traffic like this. So I have traffic coming at me, so I can only get I get on the yellow line basically, and enough that the car like realized and they kind of got over as we passed each other. So as I go past him, he screams and swings his weed eater at me, and then starts. What I figure now is he was just cussing me up and down and throwing his hands up and doing all these weird stuff, and kind of caught me off guard. So I'm like, did I? I don't even know what just happened. I like spun around. I'm in my truck and I'm like, well, I don't want I don't want anybody mad at me when you get your name on the side of it and stuff. So I turn around and I pull up next to him. I said, hey, but sorry, did I do anything? And he just let me have it. He cussed me up and down, called me out my name, told me to get out of here now, like he was like he's gonna beat the piss out of me if I don't get out of here right now. Told me that I need to, when you see somebody working on the side of the road, you give them space. And I'm like, dude, I did everything that I could. I mean, I slowed down. I went by you at half the speed limit, basically. And then on top of that, I rode the yellow line and got in the other lane as much as I can. You know, just he's standing in the road, and like there's only how so slow I can get down to. I'm coming around the curve. It was what it was, but he just kept going, and then he started calling me names, and then he started threatening me. So there's only so much I can take before I start giving it back. And so he grabbed his weed eater like a baseball bat. And he was gonna use it on me and told me to go, or that I better go, like I better run, And I'm like in my truck parked on the opposite side of the highway, and I'm like, make me. We kind of bicker back and forth. He had a few choice words, and he tells me he said enough stuff to get me aggravated enough to, and that he kind of, like I said, grabbed the weed eater like a baseball bat and started to come onto the highway towards me. So I opened my door up, and he starts screaming, "My wife's watching!" And he's screaming bloody murder, like he is irate. He's a big old boy. He's got his bibs on, big old country boy, and older than me though. So I mean, I was trying to be respectful until he just pushed it to the point I couldn't take it no more, and like called me every name in the book except for my actual name. And so then when I like cracked my door open, because I thought he's, okay. I'm definitely not looking for it, but I would love for it to happen. Like I gotta pull my punching bags and everything back out and get aggression out. Like I gotta have something like that to do sometimes. But so he tells me after doing all that to me, then he tells me he's gonna call the cops on me. I'm calling the cops, and I'm like, what? For what? Basically gonna tell him that like I tried to hit him or something. So I pulled into a and he kept screaming for me to get out of there, and he's like looks like he's about to give himself a heart attack. He's so crazy. So I like pulled up into this little pull in for this subdivision to turn around because I was going the other direction. And then when I passed him, he did all that. I turned around and came back, and I was like, "Did I do something?" He just let me have it. He went crazy, and well, He seen me turn around, and then he looked down and just started weed eating again. So I pulled up next to him, and you could tell that he was just trying to ignore me, but his adrenaline kept going so much that he got to shaking to the point that I could tell that he knew I was there. And so all that happens, and I go to pull into that subdivision to turn back around to go back the other direction. After him saying, "I'm calling the cops." I'm like, "Call them, dude. Go ahead. I don't know what for, but okay." And I look up, and my dad is on his motorcycle, and he has seen the whole thing. And he's like, "What is going on?" Like, dude, I don't know what his deal is. Like, I said, I mean, no, I don't know. He thinks that I got close to him, and he's like, this dude has been like shutting down traffic multiple times today. Like people had to stop traffic because he would be out in the road so far. He's just ignorant, and so I was like, whatever. I don't know what his deal is. He says he's calling the cops, so I'm gonna go pull down here to this church parking lot. I'm just gonna park in the parking lot and wait for the cops to show up. So he's like, okay. And so I pulled down, and as I'm pulling by him, he starts grabbing his phone out. And most people his age aren't very savvy with the phone. He would have had to been a master at using a phone to do all this stuff. I feel like all the stuff he was saying was a lie. He wasn't taking pictures of my truck or my license plate like he was trying to pretend like he was doing. Like he was. It was so ridiculous. He's so over the top. And like, yeah, I wanted to like say a couple more things when I went by and rev my truck and flip him off and like invite him out in there, but I didn't do nothing. Told my dad, I was like, dude, I don't know what his deal is. I don't want to get into it with him, but I will if he thinks he's gonna bully me. But I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what he's mad at me for. My dad's like, well, you're probably the person that he's been almost hit so many times today, and he thinks it's everyone else's responsibility to watch out for him while he's in the road weed eating. And it's not. It's just not. I don't care who you are. That's not the way the world works. So when I pass him, he starts snapping all his pictures. I go to the parking lot and I'm sitting there, and after he snaps the pictures, he makes sure he's making it very visible to me that he's on his phone calling somebody. I'm like, okay. I guess he thought I was leaving, but I pulled down and I went into the parking lot. It's like 3 houses down from his, and I pull into the parking lot, loop around, park, and I go to step out, and here comes my dad. He's coming back the other direction because he had went up to go turn around and stuff. He's like, dude, I don't understand what his deal is. And he comes down, and the guy realizes that, oh, I know the guy that was sitting there watching the whole thing. So he instantly takes off walking down to his house. And I'm like, what's he? I bet you he's going down there to go get his story straight with his wife that they can tell the cops about how I was crazy driving and I went over and then I started threatening him for no reason. Just people are ridiculous. If he went through the trouble of calling the cops for what had just happened, he's crazy anyway. Because then nothing happened. You tried to belittle me and bully me, and I took it until I did. And that was it. You think that I got close to you, and I think you're like mentally challenged to think that it's okay for you to stand in the road. So as I'm sitting there, me and my dad are sitting there and we're talking, and I'm like, dude, I'm already, like, that's not cool. Now I'm like really mad. Like he got me heated, and but I didn't do nothing. I drove by, and then it made me mad when I realized he was sitting there taking pictures. So I slowed down so you get a good clear picture of everything. And then we're in the parking lot, and mind you, I told you he said I'm calling the cops, right? It's funny the sirens in the background. Calling the cops. Okay, so I pull down to the parking lot, and then my dad pulls in on his bike, and he's like, I don't know if he got scared then or what, because he at some point called someone, his buddies, and a truck load come pulling up, but it's guys that I know. And the driver, I don't know if he was related to him or what, You could tell they looked very similar to each other. He's like, everything all right with the guy down there? I said, no, he's a dickhead. And he needs to watch his mouth. He's pushing buttons and like begging for something that he don't want. Like he's in the road. He's totally wrong. But apparently he called the cops on me. So I'm waiting because I don't want anybody to think that I did anything wrong, because I absolutely didn't. So I'm chilling here, man, waiting. And he's like, yeah, well, we know him. And the other guy in the passenger side, I know him pretty good. And he says, yeah, I almost hit him with my trailer earlier. And I'm like, what? So the guy he sent down here, like he called these guys, I need help. And they come up. I don't know if he thought they was gonna come down and jump me or what he thought they was gonna do. But they talk, sit there and talk for a second. They want to know, and I was like, dude, I'm just not a fan. Like he can't talk to another man like that. That's not gonna work out for him. He says, well, he's not from around here. I was like, well, somebody needs to learn him something, that if he wants to hang around here and stay around here, that he can't talk to people like that and start swinging at people's cars with this weed eater and begging for people to get out and fight him and this and that. He's like, he's got to chill out. And I said, all right, well, let's get out of here. The cops are coming. We need to go. I was like, what are you guys so scared of the cops for? But okay. They said, well, we'll go down here and let him know that, I don't know what they was going to let him know, that they knew me and my dad. So stop. So like, yeah, I don't know what his game plan was with going back down to talk to the guy again. The guy just needs a reality check. Like I don't think he realizes how close, lay down now, how close he was to getting himself hurt. Like you can only threaten to swing your weed eater at me, so you already swung it at my truck. Then you can only threaten to swing it at me while I'm in my door of my truck so many times before I'm going to think you're going to swing it, and I'm going to boot you off into the ditch. So it's like, I'm just not a fan, man. I'm just not a fan. Like, don't beg. Some people don't have restraint. So don't beg for something to get to the point of being physical, because some people can't turn back after you make it that far. After you force it to those points. So it's like, there's not always a reset button for everybody. So like, that all happened. I sat there and waited and waited and waited. The cops never showed up. So my dad's like, well, hey, I'll run down here and I'll go to the police station and talk to him, and you can just go on, if he got your license plate and all this other stuff. So we went down there and talked to him. They're like, I don't know what he wants us to do, but I guess we can send an officer there. And he's like, well, he's swinging his weed eater, and apparently he had told quite the story about what he feels happened to him. Lay down. And like, it couldn't have been more to the opposite of what I thought. Like, I just don't know what the guy, if he, to make up a story, he's got to basically be saying that like it's vehicular manslaughter attempted. Then, dude, you better lay down. And like, why would I do that? I mean, Jesus Christ, I seen him, and like, it bummed me out, because I'm like, cool, he's facing the opposite direction. Instead of weed eating and slinging stuff out into the road, he's facing it with his butt to the road, which that's what I do. But I know that I'm taking a risk by doing that, because I'm kind of putting myself in the road. So you have to always be looking, always be looking. I think what happened is so many times he felt like people got close to him or this or that, that he was irate before when I went by. And so when I went by, he just lost it. And then he had done blown up at me, so he had to stick to his guns or something when I turned around. I mean, I really didn't think he was going to get that ignorant, but you know, I had to also make it clear that I can get that ignorant too, if not more, before he was like, he had to stop. Like, I felt like if I didn't let him know, like, dude, I'm okay with with whatever you want to do right now. Like he was just looking to bully somebody. Like I feel sorry for maybe his wife. I can only imagine the way he treats her, because when he begged me basically to get out, called me every name in the book, and I opened my door up, and he grabs his weed eater like it's a tool, like a weapon, and starts to stomp up onto the highway. And you know, when I open my door, he says, "My wife's watching. She's watching." I'm like, I don't. That's so embarrassing. I am so embarrassed right now for you, and I don't know what you mean by that, or like what that's supposed to. I don't know. Like, okay, your wife's watching. Okay, now I'll feel even worse if you force me to beat you up, because I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna feel really bad doing anything to you if you force me to put my hands on you, and I'm gonna feel double as bad because your wife had to watch. So like, just don't, don't beg for something you don't want. It's like a real life YouTube troll that just wanted to argue, but like forgot he was standing face to face with somebody. I don't even know. But did Squirrely leave? Damn, sorry guys. I didn't. Usually my phone lights up when there's a comment. It didn't light up, so I don't know what happened there. What's up, Dakota? No, he had no cones out at all. He had his gator parked up from him. But the thing is, there's like a little middle lane in the highway. It like widens right before you get to him and before you go around the turn. So like there's a little middle lane and it goes to a point. Like right as you get to start to go around the curve. So he was his gator was parked up right as you start to go around the curve. So there's like a little bit of median that I could get over to like his gator was parked in the road too. Wheels out in the road. So like I could get around it. It wasn't hard. You know, if there's room, I don't mind. I don't care. Like sometimes I have to do stuff like that, but I know it's my responsibility to make it clear what's going on there, whether it be cones, whatever it is, or be very, very attentive and be ready to move. But yeah, there was, the little middle lane that you have to turn went to a point, and there's no more, and then it's just a dotted line from the rest of the way around the curve. So yeah, no cones, no nothing like that. So, and he had a side by side. He could have had the flashers on. Don't know why he wouldn't put the flashers on if he's gonna be standing in the road up from it. He's just lucky I looked ahead. Normally, people are on their phone and they would have never seen him till they were on him, and he probably would have got hit. But I got over, and that's why I was so dumbfounded and like almost offended that he got mad, because like I went out of my way and did everything in my power to give you as much space and make things as safe as I could for you, and then you blew up on me. So I don't mind anything he said. To give him credit, anything he tried to do. Yeah, it was silly. So it kind of put me in a mood. I'm really bad about when I get into that mood, trying to get back out of it. Then like it just been in my mind with other stuff. Sometimes you just get crazy to where you feel like your emotions are just. I could blow up or cry any damn second, man. He's wanting his 15 minutes of fame, but he about got it. Yeah, I think I just startled him, man. I really do. I think he looked up as I was going by. My truck is a little louder, and maybe it like caught him off guard. And but I was nowhere near him. I don't care what he says. I was nowhere near him. So yeah, John, I ignore a lot of them. He just begged for my attention for a minute, so I figured I'd give it to him. But yeah, I don't know. The bad part is I feel bad now, thinking back on it. Like, man, I could have just let him swing his weed eater at my truck. Like, he almost hit my truck with his weed eater. He spun around because I guess he thought I was too close, and he spun his weed eater around and tried to smack my truck. But he couldn't. I was still going, 25, 30 mile an hour, passing him. So I don't know, man. I've never seen anybody get this angry too. Like he blew a full-fledged gasket, and I wouldn't doubt if he didn't almost give himself a heart attack. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it wasn't even so much the sirens he don't mind the sirens, but he'll bark every once in a while if he hears another dog bark, or like if he's seen over my shoulder, some of my neighbors walk through with their dog, and that's what he was flipping out about. I'm telling you, he starts to swing that weed eater at me, and I don't know what he's thinking. The damn thing's on a strap, and it's around his neck. I will take that weed eater and I'll strangle you with your own weed eater. Nothing but love and good vibes away, fellas. I'm out of here. Hey, Rob, thanks for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. Whacker or is whacker. Yeah, I'm telling you. And then I didn't understand the guys coming down. Like, I thought it was silly. Like, he tells me he's going to call the cops, so I pull down the road, and then he calls some people he thinks going to come rough me up or something. I'm like, okay, you called the wrong ones because I don't want to get into it. I don't want to be that guy. But I've never minded getting into a scuffle, and I still don't. So I don't know what they were looking to do, but he caught the wrong one today. So Lighter versus pole saw. Bust out the Pistola 2511T. Yeah, man, that's kind of the way I looked at it. It's just, it is what it is. I don't like that it happened. Um, but I just hope that he's a reasonable guy. I hope that after all, because one ignorant loudmouth person can like ruin your name sometimes. And that's the part I don't like. Like, I tried to be respectful because he was my elder from the get go. You get so much leeway with me. I took it and took it and took it until I couldn't take it. Then I'm done. Then I need to let you know that you're talking to another man, and like, I don't know what are we doing here? Like, we trying to like compare pecker sizes or something? Because I'm gonna win, okay? Like, not to sound ridiculous, but I don't know what, dude. I'm almost like you're just you picked the wrong one. I just don't want to get into it. This stuff aggravates me, and I respect people. I respect everybody. I give everybody the amount of respect that I expect in return. And when I don't get that, and then you go to the point of being disrespected and treated like a piece of trash, and then threatened like you're gonna beat me like you're my daddy, and then it turns out my dad was sitting there watching the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I was gonna leave and just pull off until he started telling me I better leave, and then threatening me, and then saying, "Get, go." And I'm like, okay, make me, make me, dude. You're not tough. You're shaking like a leaf on a tree right now. You are not mad. Okay, okay. Oh, hang on. You may be mad, but you're not tough. You don't want to fight. Stop doing that. Knock it off. Like, you're shaking so bad right now. It's an act. I know. It's just silly. Comes the FBI and the CIA. Probably that guy called them on me. Got me on most wanted. Gonna be near Gap Supply on Saturday. Oh, cool. Hoping to be by there before they lock the doors. If I do, I tell them. Hell yeah, definitely, Thomas. Definitely do that. That is cool, man. Yeah, check it out. I think they just were not too long ago talking about they were working on their whole upper floor for their displays and stuff and all their just the amount of ropes. I think that's their specialty. That's their thing. So They're supposed to have like a whole upper level, I think, that is just, if you've been there, I think it's more newer. It'll be totally different. I spent the day Friday at Gapsville. Oh, you guys, that is awesome. That is cool. CIA, I go to Gap Harbors. That's awesome, Dakota. Where's my tinfoil hat? No, they can't catch it. They ain't getting us. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to. I'm gonna have to take a trip up there maybe one day. I want to take a trip around and kind of stop in and see some of you guys. You know, some of the true blues that are always leaving comments and always watching the videos and been around for so long, like guys like Ground Pounder and you guys like Greg, and there's just so many. And I just like to figure out a way to do a trip that maybe we do like stops throughout and let everybody know. And if you're close and you want to meet up or something like that, I don't know. I feel like I'm due for a good vacation anyway, man. I'm burnt. I don't really have a whole lot by me, Peter, either. I got K&K, and I think there's a Vermeer supplier that had a little bit of arbor supply, stuff in it. Wasn't much. I think it was like a lanyard, like a hard hat, like a rope, a couple ropes. I'm sure it may be more now, or it could be none. But there was like a Vermeer that was probably 2.5 hours away, and then there's K&K, which is probably an hour and a half away. No, the Vermeer's 2 hours, hour and a half for K&K. And K&K's got a good selection of stuff, an okay selection of stuff. Like they got a good selection of rope. Sometimes they'll have some rings every now and then, but they keep the basics. So I just got a comment, which was funny. Go to Victory Brewing, Thomas says. Ivermere has a Cheryl Tree showroom, very small. See, yeah, that's that's what it kind of seemed like ours kind of had. And but I haven't been there. I was young when I went there. Yeah, I had a comment that said, "I'll never overcomplicate stuff like you or like this." And it was just a video of me using rings. But I kind of wanted to touch base on that because I feel like that's a very just kind of a blanket statement because like there's more that goes into that. The guys that spend the time to learn the new climbing techniques, the guys that spend the time to learn advanced rigging techniques, setups, um, and practice certain scenarios and stuff like that. Those setups, like that setup there that we just did, that allows you to offer a higher quality product than the next guy. The guy that's just gonna throw a rope up there and just let it burn it. Um, when you learn to rope walk and you can get up into a tree without using spikes, you're now offering a higher quality product that the next guy can't, which kind of boosts you up a little bit. Just some of these techniques and some of these new ways and like advancements can actually give you a little bit of a heads up with others. And just I don't even know that I look at it more as like a heads up. I want to always, if I'm doing something, I want to be like top notch at it. So if I'm mowing my grass, I want to be like the grass grower, or mower. And like, it didn't matter what I'm doing. I want to do it good. So, especially if it's something you do for a living, you definitely want to be able to set yourself apart. So, like, it's not always overcomplicating. Sometimes that those things that you see that are complicated to you, you don't want to learn them sometimes, I feel like, because of the complications of it. The amount of effort that it would take to learn that. You see that someone's rigging off of some rings, and you're like, cool. Well, I rig off of a natural crotch, and that's just what I do. That's cool. I mean, if you think what you got and what you do will always get the job done, cool. Just hope that it doesn't come down to the days of being able to BS your way through. I think this occupation are coming to an end. The fact that the internet is just right there and people can ask all these questions and educate themselves so easily um, means that you're going to get more of those aggravating customers that think they know how to do your job, but at the same time you're going to get more educated people. So you don't even know, when back in the day you could just be quiet about wearing, hey, stop, you could be quiet about wearing your spikes and don't tell the customer that spiking the tree is bad for you. If you stay quiet about it, they'll never know. So because they don't have a phone right there to be able to get on the internet and this and that. So nowadays, very simple. They just grab Google and be like, Google, is it cool to be wearing spikes? You don't know if they've been educated. So cutting some of them corners sometimes may not be worth it. And I always just want to give the highest end quality that I can, no matter what it is I'm doing. So if a neighbor says you can use my tree to rig out of to help you, I'm definitely not going to burn their tree all up. Why would I do that? So the guy that says, rings are overcomplicated and they're silly, that guy's going to burn your tree up. So I think you'll find yourself not, if you continue to learn and advance yourself in your knowledge and stuff, you will run into very few things that you can't do, tasks that you can't complete. If you don't, you will regularly run into those things and trees and stuff that you just can't do, and you got to pass on all the time. So it's more. There's more that goes into it than just trying to overcomplicate stuff sometimes. Baseline gaps. I don't know what are baseline gaps. Oh, Baslin. I rock Baslin. Yeah. You got Buckingham big book pads for them. Oh, that's cool. I'm about an hour and okay, that's cool, Dakota. Taylor Touch Trades. What's up, Taylor? Wreck Climb and Gap Arborist Day. Yeah, we should do something like that. That would be cool. Yeah. I was just looking. Hey, lay down now. I was just looking at a tree that would be so good for a big wreck climb. It's this monstrous sycamore tree, and they're so fun to climb around in because they're kind of usually wide open. They're smooth barked. They're just bright on the inside. It's not rough. It's just, I don't know. They're a fun tree to climb around in, and they usually get pretty big. So I'm trying to order the notch rope wrench deal, and it's a cord, but they are out of stock. Trying to order the notch rope wrench deal. Oh, so yeah, that's a bummer. ISC makes a new rope wrench setup. Um, if you want to see that, John. So I'm trying to order the, and I got. Hang on, let me show you this. Let me go grab it. So I just ran into that damn rose bush. Got a thorn stuck in my arm somewhere. So if you look, see this? That's it closed. It's opened up, but that's the new rope wrench from ISC. Pretty cool setup. Um, I actually got this from Gap, so I imagine this is stuff that they may sell, distributed by Gap Arborists. So yeah, for autumn 2022. So yeah, it's a it's a pretty nice setup though. If you look, really clean. You could use your discount if you get it through Gap. I don't know. I don't know what the discount was. There's the whole setup. Really nice. I like this hole in there for the tether, so you can tin slack. I really like that. But yeah, really cool. I kind of like it. Oh, so it's a button. It swings open the opposite way. So okay, yeah, check that out. So where a normal rope wrench, you would take out this pin and it would swing the whole thing back. It's got a push button here that cracks it open that way. That's pretty nice. And you slap the rope in here and then close it back down. Click. I really like that. I didn't really look at it when I got this. And that's different in there too. That looks to be more like cam design on that than the regular rope wrench. He's great. This is what he does anytime somebody comes by. Stop. I kind of gotta let him go for a little bit. Alright, lay down. No more. Heard enough, man. Come on. No, lay down. Come here. Good boy. What are you doing? Tell everybody hi. You just love to bark, don't you, man? I love to bark, Dad. That's cool. You gonna go get it clean tomorrow? You all dirty? You gonna get clean? You're a good boy. Come on down here to Central Florida. Ho! Yeah. Got some tannerite with shit up. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't put it past me to make my way back down to Florida. Maybe can swing by and see you at some point. Lay down, little jerk. Yeah, I could definitely use a vacation, and the ocean was fun when I went last time. So we gonna blow some trees up. That would be fun. Top them and flop them. Road flares have to 30-pound propane bottle. Oh, whoa. 2.5 gallons or a 5-gallon container of acetylene, acetylene, oxygen does good. Oh my god. Next big boom. That's cool. Have you ever made a bomb out of sparklers? Have any of you? Hang on, I'm gonna jump. Clint. Oh, is Clint here? What's up, Clint? Yeah, there he is. Really cool shot, really. And come with us. They would probably co-shop. That would be fun. Just got home from 110-foot pine next to my house. Dang. Never used a rope wrench setup. They're really nice. It's probably my favorite out of all the things I've ever used. I've only bought it to a non-mechanical device, but always use my mechanical devices. I don't remember what I was even gonna say, and I was trying to get to the end of the comments where I said it. I don't remember now. Let me look back up here to see what some of these comments were, and maybe it'll make you click in. Oh yeah, now I remember. Have you ever made a bomb out of sparklers? So listen to this. So I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 18 years old, and they had one of them tractor trailer trucks like parked on the side of the highway. So Jerry's Fireworks real big on it, or Harry's Fireworks probably, but it's just like you go to walk in it, and there's always the carny guy that's there selling fireworks. Looks like he just left the like dart booth where you pop balloons. They're always chilling there. I walk in, the guy was so cool, and he's like, "What are we looking for?" And I was just being ignorant, and I'm like, "Something that blows up and's loud, something loud to blow up or something." I don't know. I said something like that, and I said, "But I don't want to spend a lot of money." And I passed him up, and I went in there. I looked for stuff, and I'm looking. I'm just kind of checking around. And I'm seeing, oh, those. We should do these, just like M80s, this, that, that. So we start pointing stuff out, and we're talking about it. And I hear, there was nobody else in this tractor trailer. There was when we first pulled up. Then the lady left. He says, "Hey," I didn't hear him. "Hey, did you say something?" He's like, "I don't know why he's being so weird. There's no one else here." So we walk up to him. He's like, "You guys looking to make something go boom?" This is the funniest interaction. He was a funny guy, period. "You looking to make something go boom?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I am. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. I'm definitely looking to make something go boom. Buy some sparklers," he says. And I'm like, "Okay. What, to light it up while we're like blowing something up so it's lit up?" Like, okay, man. And I almost instantly, as he says, "buy sparklers," because like I'm waiting for this profound thing to come out of his trap, and he's like, "Get you some sparklers." This guy's lost his damn mind. I'm out here. My brother's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Hey, dude, why would you continue the conversation with this guy?" He's like, "Hang on, don't just buy regular sparklers. Get the ones with the wood stick." Why would he? Some. So what do you mean, man? Like, explain it to me. How? Okay. And he straight up like is looking everywhere around, like he's worried about the FBI being around him. He was scared, paranoid. Could have been on some highly illegal drugs. I don't know. Um, he's like, "Did you roll that electrical tape, the black stuff? Black looks better. Take you a fistful of them sparklers, and you break its stick off," he says. Throw the stick away. You don't need it anyway. Okay, man. Took me a minute, but like, I'm just into listening to him talk by this point because he's just his country gets, and that's funny to me. And I'm just like, what's he getting into? I'll try it, whatever. Take them sparklers, break that wood off, throw the wood. You don't need it anyway. Make sure you got any like. This is what's funny is like, make sure you got any like pretended like he was counting, like he had visualized them being in his hand. He's like, make sure you got about 10 or 11. Take the one in the middle, pull it up a little bit. He says, have it sticking out like a nipple. And I'm like, what? Like we're at this point we're like laughing while he's talking. It's like a nipple. I'm like, okay, man. Take that electrical tape and wrap them up real good, like. I'm like, okay. He says, do one layer around, then wrap the bottom and seal the bottom off. So at the and then okay, and then you wrap. Make sure you seal the bottom with the electrical tape. Like maybe keep wrapping around, seal it up, work your way up, and close everything off except for the nipple. Leave the nipple, okay? And I'm like, all right. So I put about this much, like credit to what he was saying. Like I didn't think it was gonna work. I thought this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Sparklers. I bought them, but I also bought a bunch of other stuff because I was like, not banking on this guy is not just drunk telling me to do something stupid. And I'm like, but he was really worried about it. Like he knew something everyone else didn't. So I'm like, maybe I'm learning something here that's like secret or like I don't know. Well, he kind of sold me, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. So I got home, I wrap all that up, and he says, what you do after you get it all sealed up real good, like you light the sparkler that's the nipple, and he says, light it, but get the hell out of the way, stay away from it. He's like, make sure you can light it and run. It's like, I think for the first time I did it, I actually pulled the the nipple one up way too far, and like it's only supposed to be up a little bit, and I pulled it up too far, so we like stuck it into this like tube in the ground and then lit it, and then we ran off, and we're waiting, and it's just a sparkler, and we're just waiting, we're waiting, and then all of a sudden, the most insane explosion that it had burnt like a sparkler for so long I had given up, and it erupts. So it apparently it just basically makes dynamite. So some sparklers, wrap them up real tight with some black tape and like even nipple, and light the nipple and blow some stuff up. I don't know, man. Sometimes you learn some crazy stuff with people. Yeah, the sparkle thing. So yeah. See, I'd probably get the YouTube video flagged for talking about dynamite and stuff, but the number to sparklers with actual vinyl black tape. It works so good, though. It blew my mind, and it blew up real good. So makes me feel like those guys that are in those tractor trailer beds, they know some stuff. I'm gonna try to get something else out of them next time. Oh no, it blew up the cannon overloading it. That sucks. 500 bushwhacker, dang. Why did you do that? The key for a nice mushroom cloud is the coffee creamer. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say seeing how much you could take. Clint, and that's it, instantly what our brains went to, because he said, no, 10 or 11. He pretended like he was counting them in his hand. And I'm like, dude, I'm not just gonna, like, because I think in a package, there was like 8 of them in a package. And I wasn't about to, like, open up a second package. I'm like, 8 will work. And it was quite the explosion, to the point that I'm like, I gotta do 11 now because that's what he told me to do. And it can only get better. And so, yeah, I think it's them old, and it needs to be them old school. Not the. I don't know if the sparklers work that have like the paper on them. Those weird ones that are real long and they got paper at the end. It's not those kind. It's the kind that's like just the looks like a. I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like a welder stick. That's what it looks like. A welding stick. So I don't know how. Well, because I know how. Why it's been an hour and 20 minutes, because I've fumbled for a little bit over there with the rigging rings. But guys, hey, I'm gonna cut this out. We're gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys hanging out like normal. Um, I got one coming for you. I got a few. Just trying to. I don't know. Some days life can kick you right in the gonads and stop you dead in your tracks. And I feel like I'm just trying to get over the sick stomach from that. But regardless, tomorrow shows up. It's a new one. Maybe it'll be better. If it won't, I'll deal with it. But a good one will come eventually. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you guys all very, very soon. Get a chance. Eric, what's up, buddy? Ah, no, my pleasure, Eric. My pleasure. You guys make this weekly thing fun for me. So, and that's hard to do because sometimes I get so overwhelmed with these videos and stuff. But I always like doing the live feeds. It's just sometimes they jump up on me time wise, and I'm like, wasn't ready for it. I'm late. I may have even started this one early. So remember that I started this one early, because next time I'll probably be late. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe. Got any questions about anything? That's why they put the comment section. Maybe hit the thumb button. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you could, but you don't have to. See ya.